What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for an ultimate guide on the Black Ops 7 Warzone Mastery Camo known as Apocalypse. Definitely stay tuned. I made a video just like this first for multiplayer and zombies, and in that video there wasn't really too much to show as far as a step-by-step walkthrough of each challenge since they were fairly straightforward, especially compared to last year with BO6. Then I made a separate video going over all the endgame Mastery Camos since there were actually quite a few challenges that I did show you a clear example of in-game. When it comes to Warzone, the challenges are once again pretty simple, and I have to say, a lot more accessible than the camo grind we saw last year for BO6 Warzone. Now, some disclaimers to get out the way real quick. First off, the point of this video is to give you guys a real big heads up as to what you're going to come to expect with the BO7 Warzone camo grind. We'll be giving the best tips possible for every single specific challenge. With that as well, I know with the recent discovery of Nexus Horizon, the Ultra Mastery Camo, you guys might be even more intrigued to finally go ahead and get the Mastery Camo in every game mode BO7 has to offer, so you can get that 5th Secret Mastery Camo, which looks fantastic. Also, don't forget, they've added the Camo Hub into Warzone, which I believe was kind of finicky or hit or miss last year with Black Ops 6 Warzone. I think there was a Camo Hub, but you couldn't exactly track things properly. Now we have that here. So you can check every weapon class to see exactly how far you are with your progression towards every single one of the Mastery Camos. And they also show you your tracked and near complete camo challenges here, so you know what you might want to work on first. If you're hopping on with limited time to play, this should be your friend. Now, we also can't forget that the casual playlist is going to be your friend for the Black Ops 7 Warzone Camo Grind. You're not going to see any more than about 15 real people in matches of Resurgence Casual, which as of right now only supports Haven's Hollow, the new Resurgence map. Will they ever bring casuals back to Rebirth or eventually Fortune's Keep when that map gets added into rotation? It's possible, but of course, if you guys prefer Big BR, which you're going to want to play for some of these challenges, then of course, Verdansk BR still does support casual as well. There's really no good reason to play against all real players when going for this camo grind unless you just want to challenge yourself and say, hey, I did it without killing bots. Honestly, guys, you're going to get this done so much quicker than last year, especially considering casuals as a mode is available right out the get-go, whereas with BO6, it only became available with, I think it was Season 3? But Season 1 just kicked off a couple of days ago, and with that came the brand new Maddox Assault Rifle and the new Kaget SMG. Week 1 of the weekly challenge system also added in the Ballistic Knife. As you guys know, within the DLC season of any Call of Duty, brand new ranged weapons are coming out every couple of weeks. What that allows you to do, especially for this camo grind, is to skip some pretty annoying weapon classes that I highly recommend skipping. First off, the launchers. These will take you a while, regardless of playing against bots or not. You could just skip these entirely unless you want to challenge yourself later after you have Apocalypse to come back to them. Totally up to you. But another very slow weapon class to grind with is the sniper category. Maybe you guys love sniping, you're going to go for these camos. Totally up to you, like I said, but if you want to breeze through this camo grind even quicker to get yourself a step closer to Nexus Horizon, I'd recommend skipping the launchers, the snipers, and if you like, then the Marksman rifles as well. As more DLC weapons do end up releasing, you will be able to do that. The thing is, you also spawn in at the beginning of a game with the Jaeger 45 pistol, and whenever you redeploy after respawning later in a match if you die, you also spawn in with weapons that use the 45 ammo type, like the Raiden 45K. So, with that being said, you can just choose not to camo grind with these weapons until a little bit later, since you're going to be accidentally getting kills with these weapons anyway, whereas you could focus your loadouts and anything else you pick up on weapons that, again, you don't spawn in with. So, feel free to save weapons like this with the 45 ammo type until deeper into your camo grind. Now, Black Ops 7 only released with 30 weapons, but we're now past that number because of the DLC season. To make things clear, though, you only need to get Absolute Zero, the 3rd Mastery Camo here, on at least 30 weapons in the game. Hence why I said you can start skipping other weapon classes as new weapons do release. And just like BO7's campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, and Call of Duty's before BO6, you only have to do a Mastery Camo challenge for this 3rd camo here, not the 4th one. BO6 has something really weird where once you unlocked access to the 4th Mastery Camo, you had to do a separate challenge to get this camo on every individual weapon of your choosing. Once you get 30 weapons with Absolute Zero, it'll unlock Apocalypse on every weapon inside of Black Ops 7. But when new weapons do come out, if you're like, wait, do I just have Apocalypse available instantly on that weapon because I got it for every other weapon? The answer is no. Right when a weapon comes out, it's your job to go ahead and at least go through the military camo challenges, the special ones, the 3 other masteries, then Apocalypse or the 4th mastery camo will then be available for said weapon. So starting off with the military camo challenges, they're the exact same for every weapon class, whether it's a shotgun, sniper, launcher, or an assault rifle. You simply have to get 100 eliminations with that weapon, just like BO6 Warzone. And it's not tracking kills, it's tracking eliminations. So you can get some shots off on an enemy enemy and then somebody can go finish them off, you'll still get credit for that kill, which is great. You'll probably get this done in a good, I want to say 2-3 games, depending on how aggressive you're playing. In a match of casual, you're probably going to average a good 20 to 35 kills every single match, if not even more. So again, the military challenges do have to be unlocked for every individual weapon. But when it comes to special camo challenges, starting off with our assault rifle category, we have Shimmer. They want you to go ahead and get 5 headshots with the M15, then 5 eliminations while using a suppressor with the M15, and there's a third one here, get 5 eliminations shortly after sprinting with the M15. Don't forget, for these challenges, if it's a kill one, or a kill-based one I should say, you have to make sure that you're downing the player with whatever the requirement is. Make sure that that weapon is being used to down them, and you can finish them off with any other weapon of your choice. Here for the AK, they want you to get 5 headshots and 5 eliminations while moving, as well as 5 eliminations without taking damage. Very similar to a lot of the challenges we saw last year for BO6 Warzone, but a bit scaled back, a lot more accessible, I'd say. Bit more of a breeze. For the MXR, they want you to get 5 headshots, followed by 5 eliminations while using a suppressor, and even 5 eliminations without taking damage. In Black Ops 6, though, they only had 2 special challenges you had to do for every weapon. In this game, there's 3, but they're a lot easier. For the Maverick, they want you to get 5 eliminations with the suppressor, 5 headshots with the Maverick, and then 5 eliminations without taking damage. Of course, also make sure you're keeping track of your weapon levels to make sure you have the right attachments unlocked. And Resurgence Casual is going to be your friend. But for one of my favorite weapons in the game, the Mirage, they want you to get some kills with a suppressor, 5 to be exact, followed by 5 eliminations while moving, and then 5 eliminations without taking any damage. Moving on to our next AR here, we have the good old Peacekeeper coming towards the end. 5 headshots, kills without taking damage, and kills shortly after sprinting. Just about the same kind of challenges for almost every AR. Moving on to our good old SMGs. I'll go over this one anyway, even though, like I said, don't really have to worry about grinding this one because you'll probably grind it by accident as you do spawn in with it later on in a match. 5 kills without taking damage, 5 kills shortly after sprinting, and then 5 kills while sliding. The kills while sliding could be difficult. You want to make sure that you're actually downing the player while you're sliding. Not slide, shoot, and then stand back, keep shooting them again to break their armor. Make sure they have very little to no armor so you can slide and get the down to get this one done. A lot of confusion about this challenge last year with Black Ops 6 Warzone as well. That was definitely a problem. I wish they would reword that challenge a little bit. It should be down them while sliding or something. But for the RK9, we have 5 eliminations while moving, 5 shortly after sprinting, and then 5 while sliding. If any of these are bugged, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll try to send the message up to Activision in case you guys need some help. For the Razor, 5 kills without taking damage, 5 while using a suppressor, and then 5 while sliding. So looking at these suppressors, just so you guys are aware, you want to go over to the muzzle section. I don't even have any suppressors, so keep track of what level you're going to be unlocking these at. And then, if you want to start prestiging your weapons, make sure you use a permanent attachment token to go ahead and perma unlock some of those suppressors so that you can keep camo grinding. But we then have the Juravic, another SMG, one of the last ones here. 5 eliminations without taking damage, 5 shortly after sprinting, and then 5 while sliding. We then have the Carbon 57, aka the Cordite PDW Hybrid. They want you to get 5 eliminations without taking damage, 5 while using a suppressor, and then 5 while sliding. So quite a few similar challenges across every single one of these weapons. A little bit more similar across the board compared to BO6 last year, which I feel like offered more variety across each weapon, which made things a little bit more difficult. 5 eliminations while moving, 5 shortly after sprinting, and then 5 while sliding here with the good old MPC, aka the MSMC. Moving on, though, we have our shotgun, starting off with the Breacher. Going to remove that for a second. They want you to get 5 kills while moving, 5 while aiming down sights, so keep holding L1 or whatever your button is, and then 5 while sliding as well. Our next shotgun is going to be the Echo 12. It's going to be 5 eliminations while moving, 5 while aiming down sights, and the same one again, 5 while sliding. I don't have the Akita unlocked, so let's go to a private match and check that out real quick. But for the Akita, they want you to get 5 kills while moving, 5 while sliding, and then 5 hipfire kills. So it's the only shotgun, I believe, that requires hipfires, but I'm sure DLC shotguns in the future also are going to have a challenge like this. Moving on to LMGs, we have the MK78. Get 5 eliminations while using a suppressor, 5 without taking damage, and then 5 headshot kills with the MK78. Of course, pretty self-explanatory, but to avoid taking damage, I guess you could smoke yourself or sneak up on some of the bots and should be able to get that done pretty easily. Again, a lot of challenges do require suppressors, so make sure you are monitoring a lot of your weapon levels, as I said before, so you can have all that unlocked. We then have our next LMG, the XM325. They want 5 kills while moving, 5 without taking damage, and then 5 headshots. Not too bad whatsoever. Moving on to our Marksman rifle category, we have the M8A1. 5 headshots, 5 eliminations without taking damage, and then 5 eliminations while moving. See if we find any more unique challenges for this category. Here's the Warden, everybody's nightmare in multiplayer. 5 kills using a suppressor, 5 without taking damage, and then 5 while moving. On top of that, we then have the Nova line. The absolute meta right now for zombies, one of the metas at least. 5 headshots, 5 kills without taking damage, and then 5 kills while moving as well. Don't forget, special camos inside of Black Ops 7, sadly, moving on to snipers now, sadly aren't unique camos like they were in Black Ops 6, because it saved all the unique camos for weapon prestiging, seasonal events, weekly challenges. Hopefully that makes sense. But for the VS Recon, aka the DSR-50, this is a bit of a finicky challenge if you guys are going to grind snipers. They want you to make sure you are using a 4x or higher magnification scope to get 50 eliminations. That will take you a little while, regardless of going up against bots. They also want you to get 30 one-shot kills and then 2 kills without reloading 10 times. So for a challenge like that, make sure you put on a pretty big mag so that you don't have to reload. As you can see here, mag size 10, 6, and 8. Try to get this one, but even if you only have 8 or 6, go for those headshots. Make sure the actual enemy doesn't have armor so you can preserve some ammo and get several of those shots in a row. But if you guys are having trouble with putting on like a 4x scope, I know I had some trouble in endgame doing this, delete the actual class option if you can, and make sure you guys take off camos or any other weapon skins you might have on, which sometimes interferes with the attachments that you're trying to equip. Shouldn't have that issue now following Season 1, which should have fixed that. That was more of a launch bug. But yeah, again, it also lets you know right here with the pros what magnification the scope actually is. So make sure you have 4x or higher for a lot of these snipers. We then have the Shadow, a very good option here inside of Black Ops 7. You get 5 headshots, 5 eliminations without taking damage, and then 5 kills while using a suppressor. Coming up on another locked weapon, we have the XR3. They want you to get 5 headshots, 5 kills while moving, and 5 kills without taking any damage. I actually love the sniper, by the way. It's pretty damn fun. But once you guys get to the Jaeger 45 pistol, they want you to get 3 kills while moving, 3 kills while aiming down sights, and then 3 kills while using a suppressor. If you play a lot of Warzone, you'll get these done all by mistake, because you're going to spawn in with this pistol unless you drop it right away. And these are also really easy to get done without even really trying, because it is that starting pistol inside of Warzone. We then have the Velox 5.7. 3 eliminations while moving, 3 while aiming down sights, and then 3 while using a suppressor. But for the Coda 9, also back in private matches, they want you to get 10 eliminations with a suppressor equipped, 30 hipfire kills. Haven't seen too many hipfire challenges as a part of this grind. And then 15 kills shortly after switching weapons. That's also very specific. So again, make sure if you see somebody ahead of you, just keep spamming triangle, finally take the pistol out, and then go ahead and get that kill. Moving on to launchers, we have 2 kills without taking damage, 5 kills or vehicle destructions with the arrow, and then we have 2 kills while moving with the arrow 109. Of course, recommend skipping this class, but if you have to do it, then those are the challenges you can come to expect. We then have 2 kills without taking damage, 5 kills or vehicle destructions, and then 2 kills while moving with the Arc M1 launcher. And for shits and giggles, looking at melees, 2 kills while moving, 2 without taking damage, and 2 shortly after sprinting. That's the ballistic knife, but I believe it's just about the same for every melee weapon in BO7 right now. There's only 3 total. And yep, kills while moving, without taking damage, etc., etc. But now moving on to our mastery camo challenges. To wrap things up, folks, just like the military challenges, these challenges we're going to be going over are exactly the same for every single weapon class. There are no unique challenges inside of the mastery category. So, starting with Golden Damascus. Yes, a big reference to where Warzone began, Modern Warfare 19. They want you to get 3 kills in a single match 5 different times. Quite simply, just go on a bunch of 3-kill streaks in one game. You can get this done in a single match. Go on a 15-kill streak against the bots, and you have Golden Damascus in just one game. It's that simple, but I get it. Even casuals could get sweaty sometimes. Once rank play comes out, once other resurgence maps do rotate back in, you'll see a lot of the sweat spread across even more of these playlists and maps, so should make things even easier. Once you go ahead, and get Golden Damascus on every single weapon as a part of each class, you'll then unlock the Star Glass Camo Challenge for that class. So in this case, once you have 6 gold ARs, you can then do the Star Glass Challenge on each individual AR, which is to get 5 kills without dying 5 different times. If, let's say, you go 25-0 in a match of Resurgence Casuals, which is very obtainable, you'll get Star Glass on that one weapon in just a single damn game. If you gotta take more time with it, feel free. Don't forget, you can also track your camos. As you can see there, I'm moving my camera, 5 on keyboard or whatever other button you're using on your controller, and you can track your progress in-game when you hit the pause menu just to see exactly where you are, because it's easy to lose track. It happens. We then have good old Absolute Zero, the third mastery camo. Once you have 30 different weapons with the Star Glass camo, that's the second one here, aka Diamond, you can then unlock the Absolute Zero challenge. In this case, with ARs, it's to get 10 eliminations while in the top 10. That may sound scary, but in casuals, you may often see bots in the top 10. But even if it's a set of real players, because there's open matchmaking now, it shouldn't be that difficult to at least get a couple of kills while in top 10. It's really not that difficult from what I've played, at least of Haven's Hollow. Might be a bit trickier on, let's say, Verdansk or even Sweaty Rebirth, but you can also take your time with this. Maybe you play 2-3 games where you're in the top 10 in all 3 and only manage to get a good, like, 2 to 4 kills in each of those. Take your time if you have to, but again, getting top 10 isn't that scary when going up against casual bots with the extra benefit of open matchmaking, which just got introduced inside of Season 1. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Once you get Absolute Zero on 30 different weapons inside of Black Ops 7, it could be any 30 weapons, whether it's the launch ones, whether it's future DLC ones, you'll then unlock the Apocalypse camo for use in any game mode of your choice. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Black Ops 7 Warzone camo grind. A bit of a deep dive and a breakdown of every individual and unique challenge, as well as giving you guys the best tips that I possibly can. Leave all your thoughts down below. This has been dkdynamite. What are your thoughts on the Mastery Camo grind inside of this game, across each game mode? With that being said, I really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.